doing? So okay, today we are gonna try to do 8 and 9 at least. If we can do 10 before, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll see how it's going. Also, by the way, next, that translated so poorly with the auto-translate. The one downside, I am surprised that no one's made that pun yet, though. But yeah, that's gonna be our goal. Last time, my girl was going into the tomb and ready to exchange her life. And we all know what happens there. Anyway, let's finish up with Chen's path, and then we should be on the one track. You got news? Ooh, what's up? Oh, the Kinder Feliz? I think I saw that. Please enjoy them for me, because I have yet to do so. I'm hoping that my mom brought some back, and I should be seeing her in a week, so fingers crossed that she got me some. Don't know if she did, but we'll see. Wait, they have huevitos Kinder! What? That one, I don't know how long that's gonna be up. I don't think they're supposed to. Your uniform suits you. Supervisor. Jourlab reporting. At ease. No need to be too uptight your first day on the job. Better that you maintain your youthful energy. Understood, Supervisor. Do you know where we are, Jourlab? Upon the peaks was the beast cornered and killed. This is the battlefield where we kill the Fairmunter in the Great Hunt. Absolutely, go ahead and take advantage before you never find them again. But Jourlab pauses, unsure if he can continue, until he sees the patient gaze of the supervisor. This was also where countless soldiers and civilians lost their lives, where living, breathing people faded into a graveyard of lines of cold numbers between the pages. You have realized something that many candle holders older than you do not. Carry the fire that drives out the shadow of the Fairmont, and travel amongst the people to learn their troubles. It was the first candle holder, holding the torch that discovered the existence of Fairmonts, that made possible the war with the gods that secured Yan's future. Gonzo, welcome in! Even today, the existence of Fairmonts is only known to a select few, which makes it more important that Candleholder's fire remains brightly lit where shadows fall. I'll do my utmost to protect the people. I'm glad to see your resolve. But let me ask you again. What are the Fairmonts in your eyes? What are the proxies who live amongst us within the season, on whom we keep a constant watch? The hearts of the people are fickle, the hearts of beasts even more so. Perhaps some amongst them have once aided Yen, be it on a whim or true sincerity. She called you Pookie? Oh man, you're Pookie now. But, weighing the pros and cons, ultimately, they're different from us. They are enemies. Bro! Multiple of them like work for Rhodes Island. What are you doing, man? Enemies, you say? Enemies. This man. Supervisor. What are you doing here? What?! No! Chune's the supervisor?! My questions should be mine to ask. Or are you taking the token from the Garden of Grotesqueries after placation was complete? Something was not right with the Sui regulator, and the script guys were running amok in the Skymere Pavilion. I wanted to wait for the situation to settle down before seeking your counsel. Then you could give it to me here. I have heard that there's not the usual Jade rule that was retrieved from the Garden of Grotesqueries this year. I'll bring it back to the Sui regulator for further investigation. Acting on a subconscious instinct, Jola finds himself taking a step back from his familiar superior. My. I did not think there would come a day where Kanho Zhou defied his orders. Cut the crap. You're Chun, head of the Suri Regulator? A Shai Hangzhong member in the Sky Mirror Pavilion. Highly ranked one too, judging from your attire. Under normal circumstances, the patrol battalion would have faced severe penalties. And this is... Lady Chen? You're Jole's boss? Though I am unworthy of this position, it is my duty. What are you doing here? Waiting for us to walk into a trap? Unfortunately, it is not you that I'm waiting for. Hand over the token, Jola, and you may leave with your friends. We can discuss your association with undesirable elements later. I thought you would tell him to take me into the spot to make up for his transgressions. We are in the court of Yen, not some bandit camp. Fine enough for you to say. Who was it who encouraged Jia to enter the tomb of Sui, so that more dangerous proxy for Yan would die in Wang's place, catapulting her own career in the process? Yan would be ashamed to have a descendant like you. Mo Yi! The supervisor's not like that! Really? Then why did she become the supervisor so soon after Jia's death? Only a thief sees thieves everywhere. Keep your mouth shut, for you're not worthy to speak her name. The pure cult of Yen does not pause or waver for any person or thing. All that it does is measure against the interests of Yen. The interests of great Yen? Seems like Lady Chen has something to say. Very well. I give you 3 minutes. Consideration of the risk Jolie ran to retrieve the object from the Garden of Grotesqueries. There's someone I'm waiting for anyway. Ask your questions, then leave the token and leave this place. Waiting for someone? Yes, waiting for someone. Is it the proxy who holds the key? Why do you say that? Geist run rampant through Baijiao, but Joel is the only one who is trying to tackle the script guys at the source, and on no orders at that. The LGD was never so negligent, even when Wei Yunwu's oversight was at its laxest. The first thing you asked when you saw Jolie was not the script guys, but the token from the Garden of Grotesqueries. You seem to care about nothing for your responsibilities. The Sui regulator is not the police. Who in Baijiao is more qualified than the Sui regulator to deal with the script guys? Your goals all align with the Great Commandant. You want the writing knife. And Mo Yi is telling the truth. No one in Baijiao is closer to the writing knife than June. You do the LGD proud, Superintendent. Why are you assisting the Grand Commandant's plot? What do you plan to do with Wei Yunwu? Or have you already joined forces with him? Plot? You may have an excellent officer of the law, Lady Chen, but it is not your place to intervene in a matter of national interest. I've been to places and seen things. There's no need for grandiose words. If your plot is indeed the interest of the nation, you should feel no shame and say it out loud. Only those involved in political squabbles would keep the bringing up the national interest when questioned, beating around the bush and deflecting the question. You should be careful with your words, Lady Chen. The matters of state are complex and interconnected, and it's not unusual for officials to have differing views. Your words insult all who serve the state. For 1,000 years, the Sui Regular has one mission, and one alone. To do what is best for Yen in the matter of pertaining to pheromones. Nothing else matters to us. Even if the Great Commandant's actions are indeed drastic, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. The use of the writing knife does not constitute treason. Then what is he planning? At this point, I doubt the damn old elf is going to talk. It's all the talking for her. Just as I suspected, the Grand Commandant wants to rewrite history with the writing knife and completely eliminate the bestial Sui. The price is the true Lung's life. But why? What does the true Lung's life have to do with destroying a pheromone? We were just talking about it before we were interrupted. 1,000 years ago, the Grand Master discovered a piece of originium he presented to the true Lung as a weapon that could end the Great Hunt. Realizing its importance, the True Lung has its Fiangshi perform a ritual that linked it to the True Lung's bloodline. Henceforth, the power originium may only be harnessed by the reigning True Lung. That True Lung had a bit of a conscience at least, and he set a condition in the ritual, probably to prevent his descendants from abusing it. The full power of originium can only be unleashed by sacrificing the life of the True Lung. Hence it was given the name Bufan. No rebellion. You had to seethe over rivals? Oh no, welcome in. How we do it in China? Oh god. My wife's assistant. So you're playing OG ARKNIGHTS at Fort Enfield? Always, always. But yeah, yeah, I play both. She's now the head. She's the supervisor of the SWE regulators after she betrayed my girl and basically told her, like, that's not that bad. You should go kill yourself. So I'm salty. I'm very upset. But does this True Lung life have to be sacrificed, really? Have to be the Emperor's? Why did the Great Commandant go to such painstaking lengths to obtain his writing knife if his goal was merely a coup? You mean the Great Commandant wants to use a writing knife to change the record of who the current True Lung is? Joshua, welcome in! The Grand Preceptor incited the Prince to regicide. What is the truth about what happened that night? Who sent the Yulin Guard away? Who actually entered the Emperor's chambers? These are things not specified in any records. Yeah, I need to lower that. It's so, I'm so upset. I trusted her. She did everything she could for her. And now here she is, just being like, yeah, well, she's dead now. Therefore, the records of what happened that night can still be rewritten using writing knife. The history books in Bufan recognize the Lord Wei as the reigning True Lung, and the life of the True Lung obviously refers to Lord Wei's life. I thought you were young, and that you may have stayed from a righteous path. You should have been given that chance to right your wrongs. Regrettably, it seems like I can't allow you to live. No putting on a show of honesty and uprightness anymore, are we? Supervisor! Hand over the token, Julie. Whatever happens after this is none of your concern. If what Moyi sees is true, then I voice my dissent to your method, Supervisor. I cannot comply. I don't want to damage the Skymere Pavilion. Don't make me do this. You're talking to the wrong person. I have the token. Chen's vision obstructed by several maple leaves. The lamplight sways slightly. Chen steps back and prepares to engage, only for Moye to step forward and block Chen's attack. So the supervisor of the SWE regular is not above sneak attacks, like a thief. One can be subtle and reserved with words, but the action must be decisive without hesitation. It is true in Wei Qi as it is all things in life. Ryan, welcome in! Yeah, that's how it goes. No, 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 never, never, don't insult me. I do not want to be involved with this treacherous snake. I'm so upset. Oh, that's crazy. That's not bad, though. You got a good amount for both of them. Yes, tomorrow is the EX stages. Which I'm very excited, because maybe I can buy more skins. I have enough, but I like to stay above 200. Supervisor. I have read about the writing knife in the past. In Jia's hand, it can indeed alter history and greatly influence events. But we're not proxies. Our tampered historical records will never endure that long. An instant is all it takes to activate Bufan. Besides, after this, there's no longer going to be a disgrace to post Crown Prince in Yan. Only the pure True Lung, whose legitimacy is beyond question. Is that right? That is not the SWE regulator's concern. Since her death, Great Yan's history is already in tatters. One more change will hardly make a difference. It's okay. At least Blaze is a really good character. How can you be so sure we can record history truthfully? Chen Qiaoqian, Magistrate of Water in the Skymere Pavilion. I wanted to ask you as well, Supervisor. For many years, you stood G in compliant history in her office. Why is it that you have now turned to tampering with history? The records of Yen are classified into 4 parts: classics, history, philosophy, and literature. The divisions of history and philosophy may seem distinct, but even the masterwork of one of the venerated as a saint of history was merely the personal treatise within philosophy. Those who follow, modeling their brushes after his style, produce what is ultimately but a statement in a single house, the House of Yan. Those writing are no more comments after the fact. The truth has long faded into the cracks of time. How could you say that? You must have read the Saint of History's notes. Despite imprisonment and torture, he always wrote the facts as they were and exposed justice. You must have read the history tomes of Skymere Pavilion, written by thousands of sages who poured their hearts and souls into them, striving to set the record straight, to weigh every word in judgment of right and wrong. You must have heard that official historians, meticulously investigating and analyzing their sources, coveting not the court's wealth and rank, but striving only to uphold justice for the common people. I saw with my own eyes the elders of my family dying on white fields of snow because they wanted to write down the truth. Nay, because they were honest to themselves. These people who wrote history with their own flesh and blood, who willingly became the flame of illumination to illuminate the truth, even for a moment. Who are they to you, Supervisor? They are the writers. True and false, right and wrong. These things always depend on the stance of the writer, rather on what's actually right. Oh no, what do you mean by that, Nex? You ought to know. Even with revisions of countless esteemed scholars, the histories are read with rife with embellishment, omission, and lies. Alright, what is this? Oh god! For real though! Just like the little... How could she? The ironic thing is, they cannot even call some things evil. The curled leaves make a sharp sound against each other, questioning, lamentingly. One guy, welcome in! Stand back, Chen Qiaoqian. You are neither a candleholder nor Shai Hangzhong, nor the niece of the disposed crown prince. This is not your fight. Nah, this is her fight as much as anybody's. Because she's one of the few people who actually wants to uphold history. I hope work is going well. Please take it easy. Did the Imperial Historical Cabinet truly take responsibility for writing history after her passing? Did the Skymere Pavilion truly fulfill its duty of righting the wrongs? You are the descendant of historians. If you take up this mantle, can you truly guarantee that every word will be true for all eternity? No. You dare not shoulder the responsibility. I know about you. You wanted to change the Skymere Pavilion's culture of obsession with analysis of ancient history while neglecting recent history. That's why you took up the minor position in the Skymere Pavilion, hoping to lead by example by studying your family's history. Decades, centuries, millennia? How can you claim to speak for history when you have not borne witness to time on the scale that she knew? June, how could you? Stand back. The maple leaves sharpen. This time, no one saw what Chun did. All she did was wave her sleeve. The next instant, Chen Qiaoqian was lying unconscious on the floor. Qiaoqian? Supervisor. She's just unconscious. She'll wake up in a couple hours. There's no need for her to sink any deeper in this mire. She's but an unfortunate ordinary woman. She shouldn't have to be like you. Or like me. I hear elves live a long life. We do. You don't believe in history or lasting injustice in people's hearts, because the ones who walk side by side with you on the long road of time died because of you. The question is not yours to ask, Chen Qiaoqian. As an elf, You don't know where you came from, whether any of your kind left, or where there'll be a home for you. My past, present, and future belong to Yin. And that involves tossing your fellows into the abyss? Having her die in Wang's place was the appropriate decision under the circumstances. This is beyond all doubt. Compelling history, recording the passage of time. Have you any idea of the power of those years? The power of time? The beast walks with the generous earth. She has gone one step further. Her power was rooted in words and lived in history. As long as records of Yan continued, her power will continue to grow without an end. If left unchecked, what sort of monster would it create in the end? It would be something even more powerful, even more terrible than Sui itself. I mean, she absolutely was. But even in the end, she knew it wasn't right. She could, like, feel it fighting her. And she could have been honest with Jia. And I think Jia would have still... Did you find another Chen? There's always Chen. And now there's Chun too. I think Jia would have still done what she did. Because I don't think she could have allowed Wang to do that to himself. But at the same time, it should have been Jia's choice. And Chun should have been completely honest. That's what bothers me. And even now, she's completely sacrificed herself because, like, this is the only place she has to go. This is her last home. And yeah, maybe this would happen, but we don't know what would have happened. So she decided to, like, live in this lie that perhaps she would become a monster. But even then, that was a perhaps. She was my mentor, my confidant, my friend. But I couldn't endanger Great Yan with my own selfish interest. And I've seen people like you. People who abandon their friends, but long to see them again in dreams, in order to beg for forgiveness. Head of the Sui regulator. What would you do if there was a way to see her again? I warn you, do not play games with the lives of millions for the fantasies of a madman. Wang did not go into the tomb of Sui for the sole purpose of eliminating Sui. The object that he had you retrieved from the garden where Cresses surely has something to do with his deranged plans to bring the dead back to life. I'm surprised. I thought you got along well with her when you were her candle holder. Isn't there a part of you, somewhere, that wants to see his plan succeed? He already failed 120 years ago. He'll fail again. Allowing him to continue his reckless path will lead more to disaster. How can I trust a madman who treats heaven and earth as his Wei Chi board, and all lives and souls as pieces? How can I trust a sinner who caused the death of his sister? How can I trust the obsession of Fairmont? Because, like you, he walked this land, lived the seasons, and vowed to become human, to become part of this land, and those who live upon it. Human? Humans are humans because they live and die. This is why they shine, as the candle's fleeting glow. She has lived, and she has died. Wang seeks to disturb the slumber of the dead, in defiance of the laws of heaven. Even if his delusion somehow could be true, how can you be sure that this is the departed herself that wants to return, not a geist, a hollow puppet that only carries her image? You just don't want to believe. Things seldom go the way people want them to. The outcome may not be exactly what we want, but to be shackled by regret and not even have the courage to take a single step, that is nothing but cowardice. You may have a way with words, Chen Huiche, but I don't see how you intend to carry out the justice you speak of. The token and the key. I am only here for them. Continue to play games with the words, and I'll crush you before dealing with them. Let's who's crushing who. What about you, Jolie? I apologize, but I must cause offense. Huh, so be it. Those who stay near ink get stained. We have some good friends, Candleholder Joel. Do your worst. Okay. Really quickly, I want to check something. Yeah, I didn't even notice she was one of the enemies, which I'm kind of glad that I didn't notice. Because had I, like, that entire reveal would have been ruined on me. Man! Chun, you suck! You suck, Chun! You almost hit a bookshelf. I'm no swordswoman. I have no interest in admiring Qi Zhao. But it would be a shame if your sword ruins a collection in the Skymere Pavilion. But you're not confident about taking the token from me. Is that so? The elf naturally waves her jade scepter and twig for the first time. Withered vines rush out of the ground, forming massive hands. Damn it, she's a nightmare to deal with. Is this sweet regular supervisor decided through combat? How does the book go anyway? Huh, I remember. And it's autumn. This is perfect. Metal's nature is change. Take this. For a thief, you're pretty well learned. I wouldn't be surprised if I know yin yang and the 5 elements better than someone who's forgotten her roots. Jolie! Chanhuchi, your turn! Jolie charges towards Chun, intending on disrupting her ability to respond. Meanwhile, Chanhuchi pulls back, waiting for opportunity to strike. In between them, Moyi unleashes razor-sharp autumn winds, tangling with fine hands. The supervisor of the Sui Regulator continues to stand where she is, ultimately impassive, as though she is watching a farce that she is becoming increasingly bored with. Chanhuchi continues to back off, until her back is almost touching the closed door. Damn, can't hold on much longer. Chen! Qi Zhao splits the clouds. Riding on autumn wind, the sword auto sweeps all the way away all the vines. The elf looks surprised for a brief moment. Really quickly, because I actually even looked into this. Is Chen's new altar any good? Because I'm guessing that's what it's referencing, like one of her attacks, but is she actually decent, or is she just like another altar? Then, dried leaves, sharp as razors, fly out from the vines behind the trio. Moyi urgently casts a defensive spell, but the leaves cut their clothes and bags open. Strat, welcome in! It's okay, you're only 30 minutes late. You did miss one of the things that pissed me off the most, which is Chun's a fucking traitor. She's now the supervisor of all the candle holders. And she's like, no, she should stay dead. Gia's, candle holder, who was her friend and basically told her, like, yeah, you should totally kill yourself. Which I already hated her after that. Yeah, Chun! Yeah! But what happened to wife? Wife got reabsorbed. Wife dead. But not, but dead. Welcome in, Phantom. Moyi urgently casts a defensive spell, but the leaves cut their clothes and bags open. The token that slumbered since his retreat of the Garden Grotesqueries falls on the ground. Yeah, you see? Chun! Chun! She's here now! She's in the present! She's in charge, and she's trying to stop them from rezzing her! This is the token from Garden Grotesqueries? It is a Geist. It is, indeed, a Geist. The Weichi player had taken Sui's wildest imagination from the Garden of Grotesqueries and hollowed out their interior, leaving only the gleaming exterior. The memories of his siblings were then injected to create this object. Made of a glass-like substance, the tiny sky slice of marble on the ground for a while. Then, it seems to grow ethereal. It awakens. Does not seem to feel pain. Or perhaps the pain was overcome by the urge to return to its familiar place. Real! That's exactly how I feel! She begins to stumble towards the door. That is impossible. All it takes is a single thought from the elf, and the churning vines could shatter the object to smithereens. But Chun cannot bring herself to do it, because she truly does see a familiar figure in it. The object touches the door, It is as though a dream that has slumbered for 100 years, suddenly awakened by the intruder. Whose wife? Gia's wife. Also, welcome in Yoram. The falling dust forms thousands of golden threads drifting in the air in the setting sun. The sliver of life forced ripples. No! This is wife! This is wife! All breaths are held as they see an ethereal figure that drifts between light and shadow in the falling dust. Aethel, welcome in! She's looking mighty transparent because she's not alive. She's not alive. She haunts me. I see her everywhere I go. Yeah, I know. It is blurry, indistinct. The only clear feature is gray robe, like paper that has grown yellow from the passage of time, but still smelling faintly of old books and dried ink. The door opens slowly. A master doesn't need a key. Oh god, yeah, we're going back to that scene. A master does not... Oh! How do you get in if you gave me the key? Why should the master of the house need a key? The shadow bends slightly as if trying to pick up the cracked scroll on the desk. Or perhaps it is walking towards the window to open a sash closed for so long, to see the osmanthus that was young back then has bloomed this year. But her movement ultimately freezes between the done and the undone, a faint wisp of melancholy suspended in the sunset. Put the scroll on the shelf by the wall. Leave the document on the desk. It is not yet finished. A painting from dusk? I should find a good place to hang it. Why do I have to do these chores for you? No? Panance that her candle holder helps her put together Mahon games. Desk, chair, and scrolls. Every object in the room breathes with shadow. They are her old friends, and she is the reason they never left. A gust of wind blows through the room. The guy falls asleep, and the shadow dissipates like a drop of ink that falls into water, leaving behind only that which is real. The shadows of dust. And the sun shining into an empty room. It's her. No, she was a little taller, and her hair a little blacker. She was thin, but not like that. She would not accept, yet there's a single question that she could never answer. Who else could it be? Oh. This hurts so much. No, oh. June saw everything? Oh. Who else could it be? The stun elf does not even notice the appearance of the proxy, one who's very much flesh and blood. She continues to stare at the same spot, stare in the direction where the shadow disappeared. I came as you asked. But it seems you no longer have anything to say to me. It's her. It's really her. I didn't think there was a trace of her existence left. There is no doubt about it. It is a sliver of a life force, which those young people retrieved from the Sui's remnant consciousness. As for the traces of her existence, there are books in the Sky Mirror Pavilion and countless scholars across the land of Yen. Can't be sad if you don't know what the hell is going on. Do you know anything about ARKNIGHTS, or is this your introduction to it? That's my first question before I try to explain anything. Now, do you still believe that everything we siblings have done since Gia's appearance is futile, Candleholder Chun? If you can still find a trace of her somewhere. Oh, you just don't read the story? So, she is one of the Sui. No need to explain that? Okay, no worries. Look, man, I don't even know if he supports this elf. Typically, he likes elves, but I have a feeling he's not gonna like her. Tell her the long-lived candleholder chokes on her own words. She gazes wordlessly at the study, the interior of which has not changed for centuries. Having taken it all in, she turns around and slowly walks towards the exit, fighting the urge to look back at every step. Leaving this place she knows best, it brings her the most despair. I did not know what Wang's obsession was with this paranoid, yet so deep. I saw you at the city gates. And we meet again. You are June. Thank you for protecting our token. Lady June. No, Master June. I heard you were close friends with the Grandmasters, and I have long heard your name spoken of reference. It is an honor to meet you. Don't try to curry favor with me. I'm not even sure if I was born at the time of the old carpenter's death. I'm glad to see that someone still remembers his views after 1,000 years have passed. But did you do what you did among Shangtai out of despair for peace, or out of your own bitter cynicism? Do you really need me to tell you? The old Tianxi gave you an opportunity to make up for your transgressions. Have you done so? The proxy does not raise her voice, and there is no anger in it, but her voice is naturally respect. I have longed to hear the second Sui's unapproachable nature. Today, I got to witness it. There is always hope for those who learn from their mistakes. Jolie? Academician June. Words cannot express the gratitude for you bringing back the sliver of Gia's life force from the Garden of Grotesqueries. Our family will remember the favor and repay it when the time is right. I'm simply doing my duty as candle holder. The supervisor lost her composure, but the candle of the Sui regulator remains lit. She was trapped between the greater good and personal desire, and was eventually crushed by her own obsession. You must not repeat her mistakes when the time comes for you to take on great responsibility. Me? Now, though, it is more useful for you to go outside than to stay here and look at the relics of the past. Take this girl, too, and put her somewhere safe downstairs. It is late autumn, and the floor is cold. I trust you to handle the matter with the riding knife property accommodation, June. Academician. How do you pronounce that? Academician. I don't know how to. I'm probably not saying it right. Of course. One more request, if I may. June turns around and picks up the geist from the ground. She has turned back into a small, quiet doll, perhaps exhausted from the action she's performed. Yeah, academician. That does not feel right. That doesn't feel like a correct word. Like, I don't feel like I'm saying it right. What other lies? Oh, man. You know that the skies was formed by the last speck of Gia's life force. Wang drew you into the game and had you retrieve this object so that you could deliver it here and allow it to recuperate in preparation for her return. Are we actually gonna get her back? Oh, please, please, please. Tell me that the next one we get is Gia. I would be so happy. But consider a burst of sentimentality from a reunion with someone long thought lost. Please deliver it to the Tomb of Sui. The future is yet unsettled. Our family will gather outside the tomb. I do not know if the day will come when Gia returns, but if Wang sees it as Gia's foundation, she should be there for this meeting. Gia will return in Avengers Doomsday. Real. Wang is in the tomb, and I must help him. There is a battle. Carrying this object would be unsafe. Perhaps cause a delay. Leave it to me. The Shanghai snatches the token from the woman's hand before the candle holder can react. I will see it done in the name of Zushi. The dignified woman bows deeply to the youngsters. Thank you. Lady June. You blocked the attack against me at the gate and protected Gia's legacy. Has chivalry become a habit of yours? I do what I do for the sake of justice. What is justice? Justice is making sure that Wei Yunwu does not die an unjust death and giving the old case a proper trial. Justice is bringing closure to all that has happened between mother and father, between the imperial family and the House of Chen. Justice is making sure that the proxy who did so much for Great Yan did not die in vain and give Great Yan a chance at peace. What about justice for you as an infected? I have seen so much suffering in my journeys. This land has been too kind to me. I wield my justice for the sake of others. Very well. I can't help you with the justice you seek, but perhaps her relic can. Do you mean the writing knife? Take it. The justice you seek is closely linked to the incident 40 years ago. You are the only one who I can trust this knife, who can right the wrongs for your family, for your country. There should be closure to the matters of the Chen family, Lord Wei's decision, and the 1,000 years of records for the land on which she once lived and breathed. These were the hopes that she placed upon the writing knife. I know, that's what I'm trying to think. Why? And I'm trying to figure out exactly what she means by that, because, like, she gave it to June to protect so people wouldn't change history. It was more of a thought process that, like, kept it alive. She saw it as a symbol more than anything. And she didn't want it to be abused. June giving it to Chen doesn't feel right. The history of Great Yan should be written by the Yanese people. Yeah, but that one can alter history. Come with me. They walk into the room. Like revisiting a scene from an old play, June slowly walks through the room that has not changed one bit in the past century. Okay, I don't think that's gonna happen. Everything's familiar. No one has touched it for 100 years. It has been a while. The writing knife has resurfaced, but it's no longer in your hands. If I have entrusted it to the wrong person, I will shoulder the responsibility for any consequence on your behalf. I do respect that about June. She's like, this might be a wrong choice, and if it is, that's on me, not on you. So you know what? I'll allow her to do this. Oh, fuck you! No! No! Why would you do that? Why? Recreated it and then... Oh my god! Chen's palm closed around the knife. Her fingertips tremble, as if the weight of 1,000 bucks upon her heart. Oh. It was a flash. For a second, it was this redrawn. But instead of it being Gia giving it to June, it's June giving it to Chen. She has given all wholeheartedly and sacrificed herself selflessly. Now everything has come together as appointed. Here, look at this! Look at this! Oh! But that's still a dangerous thing to do. And not only that, it's also the entire issue of it's being entrusted to a mortal the same way that the first True Lung knew that it could be, like, his own power could be abused. So he made it so it would be his sacrifice by giving it to a mortal, even if it's somebody who represents what June and Gia think Yen should be, it's a very dangerous tactic. Also, does this mean that we could see this in Enfield? Could the knife still be around somewhere? She clutches the knife. In her eyes, something sinks. Something else burns bright. It is the weight of an era, and a reunion that the knife has long waited. Oh, absolutely. Like, June sees something in her. And I understand why June might do that, and I understand June's entire thought process. But my entire thought process is, Chen is just but a living being. At the end of the day, we do not know where her path will go. Including the fact that at one point she will die and leave this artifact that could destroy the history of all of Terra. It's still incredibly dangerous. I hope you will not disappoint. I will not disappoint. 100 years in Enfield. You know what? Maybe it can fix Enfield. It can fix Enfield's pacing. So you know what? Maybe we should use the knife. There are some parts of Enfield that we probably need to change. There are also some parts of regular ARKNIGHTS. Maybe we can cut out some monologues. What's going on? These guys just appeared out of nowhere. The gnolls among Shungtown record that have similar scenes of rampaging guys were spotted during the turmoil caused by Sui 120 years ago. If they link this, I would actually be content. Is the bestial Sui awakening? They have to link it somehow. You know what, Becco? You have a point. It could. It could tie to Chen's mom as well as C. What a headache. Guess it's happened after all. Number 2, you fool. How are you dilly-dallying? How many times do I have to bail you out? Ling Chenyan! Oh yeah, isn't Typhoon coming in? What are your instructions? This is where the geist are most rampant. They must not be allowed to enter Baijiao. The Chinese Year of Minor? Oh god. You and I will guard the pass. Do not let a single geist through. Yes, master. I can't hear you, girl. Look lively. Treat this as your entrance exam. Pass the test and I'll take you as my student. Then you can have your old teacher and call you master. I wouldn't dare. Is there anything I can help with? Help? What can you do? Watch my moves and record them. Then you can show them to your teacher and see who's better. The fire rises. Wait for me. You run too fast. Okay, the admin can't fix anything because they don't know anything. What's the matter? You're the one who was in a hurry. If you're out of breath, give it to me and I'll deliver it. In your dreams. You blockhead. Did you think that about how we're supposed to enter the Tomb of Sui when we arrive? We'll explain to the soldiers guarding the tomb and ask them to let us through. That's not gonna work. Come on, man. Right. And how do you plan to explain where you got the thing you're holding? Or maybe we find a way to sneak in. Your brain really is made entirely of wood, isn't it? Do you have an idea then? If we can't get inside the Tomb of Sui, we'll find someone who can. Do you mean... Who's there? Show yourself! Jolie senses a hostile presence and instantly draws his sword. Yeah? Yeah, it's gonna deliver it! No! Strat, I know, you're not wrong. The thing you promised me. Hand it over. Someone who I did not think was gonna do that. The Forbidden City's just ahead. Should be heavily guarded. The Great Commandant really intends on sacrificing Wei Yunwu's life. Their guards stationed at all important intersections of the city. Should not be hard to detect unusual movements by large force. Wait, is that... Chen stops in her tracks. She sees a figure. A very familiar one. Don't be Tallulah. Please don't be Tallulah. Oh, okay. Huchie. You should not have come. Making a Polish guy Chinese? They had to do it, okay? He's in a very Chinese part of his life. Also, I'm gonna be back in like 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. I forgot my water in the kitchen, so I'm gonna get that really quickly because I do have my tea, but like that's starting to run low. So give me like a split second. Let my avatar die for a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. Did that happen in the 1.4 story? Yeah, you gotta be specific, like more specific on exactly what's going on. If you're asking about Chinese Polish guy, Minor is now Chinese in Enfield. That's the best way to like describe that situation. Alright, we continue. I am wondering when Ju's gonna come back. Because, like, we get him as a recruit for Enfield. He did help, Wang. Or he did say that he'd help Wang when the time came. I am surprised it's Ya, not Ju. There's no end to them. Look out! Where do these monsters even come from? And just how many of them are there? They don't even seem to be increasing. In fact, there's more of them now. It says she's a very powerful unit? Okay. Never mind, I'll find out eventually. Honestly, yeah. The good thing about, like, Enfield is it's very hard to become a part skipper when it comes to Enfield. Oh, yeah! Doesn't it summon a dragon that basically, like, goes around a path and, like, whenever it hits a wall, it just goes down and then turns? I heard last night that 3rd Battalion in the North lost half their numbers. What? Have you noticed? I don't know when it started, but these mysterious monsters are looking even more realistic than they did, and more aggressive to boot. Where's that Tamedu backup? Yeah, mini dragon from the event. Yeah, exactly. We're in dire straits if this keeps up. Man! Honestly, that armor is so cool. The Pure Guard would be, like, such a cool character if he wasn't a douche. But no, no. He had to go ahead and be for the wrong side. Ooh. Welcome back, Aethel. So, like, she's a good pair for Nasty? Yeah, but Gramps, like, kind of messed up with my tomboy. So Gramps went down a peg after I figured out that, like, he ruined Tomboy's life. That's my only issue with Gramps. Stand up. We must uphold our duty to guard the land. Imperial Guards? All units, form a line and prepare to meet the enemy. Please, Enfield, give me an operator that has this fit. Please, anything close to this. That is one thing that I want. Like, they have so many sexy characters, but, like, give me the option for this. Ember in this fit would be amazing. Pastry Zero? Honestly, there's a few people I know that would agree with you. I know Effie here would agree with you. There's no retreat until we annihilate all evil inside the city. Oh, God. No! No! Your Imperial Majesty. The Grand Commandant's sickness seems to be gone. This gladdens me. What is it that you're looking for me at this hour? Getting 5 different Chens? When all you want is 0? I feel like that would also piss you off. You'd probably uninstall the game if that happened. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Has your Imperial Majesty forgotten? Just the other day, you commanded me to be here for the morning court. Oh. That's not bad. I'm sorry, Aethel. But at the end of the day, Wang is a superior being. I fear you must have slept to delirium. Court is long over. You were late. No, not yet. The day of the full moon is tomorrow. The old servant shall accompany your majesty and await your order. I find myself uncertain why the great commandment wants this done in haste. I know not what your majesty awaits, but also what your majesty has planned for the day. That is none of your business. Your majesty's silence only keeps the servant guessing. Would your Imperial Majesty truly risk your sacred person to activate Buffoon to settle the crisis with the Tumasui? I know not whose slander your majesty has heard, to resort to an ill-advised course. With no counsel offered, am I not capable of making my own decisions? Yes, absolutely should. You will be able to spark for Wizardell, is my understanding. I think so. There's no way you wouldn't, right? 40 years ago, when your majesty ascended to the throne, it was the Grand Tutor and I who stayed with you to survey Buffon. I don't blame you. Wizardell's so good. Can you spark Exu Alt? Yes. So that's what I'm saving for. I will probably get... Either way, I was going to go ahead and roll, considering, like, I want every limited operator. But that's currently what I'm saving for. If I remember correctly, I'm at 90k? Something like that. So I have, like, 150 rolls. Or whatever. I have 150 rolls. So I just need to go ahead and double that. I still remember following our own visit to remote room. 3 whole days came and went without a single court session. To this day, I remember unaware of your majesty's thoughts at the time. I remember then as well. But now I am no longer fear the great commander deriding me. So perhaps I shall share. You got 15-ish, Paul? Oh. Yeah, you gotta save, man. 3 months? Within 3 months, you should be able to hit pity. Especially with, like, all the things they give you. But it is one of those things that, like, it gets stressful. And not only that, like, a month after that, we have the Mon Hunt collab. Oh god. Insist to do singles for luck? I would go insane. You're broke because of Alter Chen? I would have, like, I'll be honest, I would have saved for Wizadel. Because, I mean, Chen Alter, she's not limited. I am, actually. I was only thinking. In Yan's 1,000-year history with this object, not even once has there been a single true Lung who used it. If Great Yan were forced to use Bufan while I sat on the throne, would I not become the weakest ruler in our history? If you would grant me a presumptuous question, if your Imperial Majesty were to sacrifice yourself for the nation, how would it be run subquestly? Oh, you need Shu? Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, okay, I see. That's understandable. Is there a cause for worry? Is my replacement not already in Baijiao as we speak? The Mandarins would be unsatisfied if they were disposed of the Imperial heir Yun Wu were to take the throne, and the country would descend to chaos. And what would happen then? Oh man. The fault will lie with the Mandarin's shoulders. I only wish for your majesty to banish this thought. Ridiculous. You know well I am no match for the late emperor, whom you so admired. Why not accept and anticipate my brother's imminent ascension to the throne, where he will be able to realize your ambitions? Why trouble yourself to persuade me? Your Majesty! The old man suddenly tenses up, his trembly voice nearly hoarse. The man on the throne seems to have forgotten where he last saw his old man this agitated. For the past 40 years, I have witnessed your majesty toiled tirelessly to grow our country. Not even once have you slackened from your imperial duties. In those years, Great Yan has enjoyed stability. Our population swelled, and the treasury remains full. Has there been an era in our history, even more prosperous than this one? Or an emperor more capable and benevolent than the one we have now? And yet, your majesty, do you intend to idly watch as our nation's golden age vanishes into night during this turbulent time? An urgent message from the Sui regulator. A strong energy wave has been reported from the depths of the Tomb of Sui. You know what's right? You make a great point. That's still the funniest, like, event names. I don't think they ever just drew him. That's why. They might be saving him for the future. The true Lung is one of the family members of Chen. I mean, Ling is no longer OP. She has been power crept. Laptop absolutely is OP. Wizadel is absolutely OP. Texas alters OP. Yadu Kirin is OP, but at the same time less OP than, like, Texas alter. Yeah, Ling's been out for a while. She's still good every now and then, but it's mostly because you're having fun. Yeah. It is very, very expensive. I'm crying, man. It's okay. You will get her eventually. Far stronger than the wave 120 years ago. And how fare the troops and civilians? Under control of the moment, Baijiao's peripheral blocks moved away before the energy blast. And non-mobile settlements nearby have been largely evacuated. The damage is minor. Mount Man has suffered more damage, but the Tianxis are at their post, and the Garden Grotesquerie is still suppressing Sui. There are guys straying among the city, and the Imperial Guards are not cooperating with the patrol battalion to establish a defense line. They will give it their all. I see. You may go. Bruh. From behind the curtain, the true Lung rises from his throne and descends the steps until he is next to the older man. Well, we know this much. We haven't seen his face, but he has, like... What's that redheaded guy, from... Demon Slayer? It's about time. You may withdraw, Great Commandant. The battlefront of Baijiao and you men await your commands. Your Imperial Majesty. For the sake of Yen, is your Majesty truly unaware why I so strongly advocate for war? Because that's what his hair reminds me of! Do you still remember why the court came up 28 policies? Victoria, Lithuania, and Kazdel? This whole great land is plagued with unrest, Great Yen aside. And now we're in terrible peril, and the nation cannot afford to be passive. We must proactively seek change. Has your Majesty not learned from what happened in Ursus? The Chamber of Heaven's design has yet to figure out what sort of power managed to wipe out the entire Originium vein. If the Crystal Age truly ends with the depletion of every prime vein, then Great Yen must take responsibility and prepare to lead all of Terra. Holy! Are we in that era of Chinese history? We are doing great. We must share this greatness with the rest of the world through war. This is a very Chinese event. That's your gimmick? Yeah, we're really leading to Terra War 3! Attack Ursus in the north, repel Victoria in the west, pacify Mitsukue and Kitirigawa in the east, and settle Rim Battalion to the south. Furthermore, we must keep a close eye on Columbia's development as well as possible naval incursions from Ager's own seas. No, there's 3 Great Terra Wars. There's been many wars in Terra. But 3 Great Terra Wars. Well, this is gonna be the 3rd one. And before all that, while Great Yen stands at the height of its power, we must seize the chance to fight against the Bishosui to sweep away decades of weakness hiding under peace and prosperity. Only then will we manage to stand tall in this chaotic realm, undeterred for the next millennia. No, it's real. Except for, like, the French never recovered. The French never recovered after 2. Lore-wise, every day is war. The true Lung falls silent to the old man's speech, not only to consider all that was said, but also calm his own mind. No one knows how much time has passed before he finally speaks. You dedicate your life to wars for the country, and your military merit is without equal. It's also left you with injuries and ailments. Something with Gauls, I think? Something with their G. I think G-A-U-L-S. I may be wrong. I think it was Gauls. Have you ever doubted your undying loyalty to the country? But earlier, you spoke of what befell Ursus. That made me wonder. Do you remember what happened to Gaul? Oh, there it is! Oh my god! Thank you, True Lung! I didn't think that would actually come up. That was a perfect coincidence. Oh man. No worries, Aethel. You go ahead and do that. Yeah, I know! True Lung is a homie! Oh, I think that's been my favorite thing that's happening right now. Your Imperial Majesty. I know! Comedic timing! Your words were incisive. Yes, Great Yen should change, and must change. But the way I see it, compared to the lives we may lose in this war, this bestial Sui, what we need is even less as the true Lung passes prime. And this is power accessible only to the true Lung for the past 1,000 years. If we talk to Great Yen's future, then I must say, my outlook is indeed brighter than yours, Great Commandant. Has Great Yan these past 40 years lacked for loyal or righteous men? The Great Preceptor, Yu Cheng, Ju Quan, the Great Grand Tutor, and yourself. My officials are loyal. My soldiers are fearless. My people are principled. Where is this weakness hiding under peace and prosperity you speak of? As for the future you mention, you can take a look in my steed. Your Majesty, you still insist. The hunt of my ancestors' days, the remnant of the beast shall sway plaguing Yan for 1,000 years, shall end with me. If we must inevitably spill some blood, then the true lung should be the first to spill it. After a short silence, the true lung walks to the doors. It has been a long time since he stepped out of the place. Only an old man remains in this vast palace. If I cannot dissuade your Majesty, then I can only strive to serve my duty. Send word to you men. It's time to make a move. After the brief order, he disconnects the terminal and slowly walks forward. He passed through the curtain, finally stopping before the throne, closing his eyes, staying in his spot, as if waiting for something. Until his cough can no longer suppress from the burst from his throat. I know, I'm hoping that we see him. Absolutely, that's why we haven't seen him yet. The cough is so violent, he bends over, has to grab over the throne for support. You came, and then... So you were here. You don't seem surprised at all to see me, though. Yeah, it did! Chen Huiche is somewhat caught off guard by her target simply showing up before her. Still, the overbearing posture. Still the unfathomable look. As if they're not standing in Baijiao's Forbidden City, but in the backyard is his official residence in Lungmen. The buildings behind him seamlessly blend into his dark coat, as the palace is merely excessively ornate cloak over his shoulders. So at least you weren't kidnapped. I still don't know just who on this land could manage that. Everything I've done has been of my own volition. I'll never stop hating that attitude of yours. Why are you here? Is this that backup plan the Grand Tutor kept telling you to make? His words should not be followed entirely. The situation should never have developed as suggested in the first place. I have another plan in mind. Either way, you're safe. So what comes next won't be much of a problem. Now what are you prepared to do? Ensure you're safe, get you back out of Baijiao, and then... Chen casually waves the writing knife in her right hand. Its simple form leaving a light yellow scroll-like afterimage in the air. Correct some mistakes made by you and your brother. I see. So the artifact is with you. I'm not too surprised. And who are you supposing would deliver this writing knife to you? That's no longer important. Since you have it, then you ought to know how to use it. And everything else about it. I was pretty surprised. Every secret I've learned about you since coming to the city has opened my eyes. You know, I almost admire your ability to hide so many secrets. If you truly wish to rectify the mistake I've made, then you should follow me. Follow you? Where? Beneath the Forbidden City, to the first Originium. The writing knife you hold will be of use, and will solve Great Yan's crisis. All will be made right. Of course, I prefer you hand the knife to me instead. It'll be quicker, and you'll have less trouble to contend with. But you won't trust me. I'm sure you want to see it all yourself before you'll give up. I really don't mind, though. Hadn't had enough playing your tragic hero? You're just conveniently skipping over the part where you actually lose your life. We'll stand before a great crisis. This is small cost Yan can afford. Man, they're just fighting over each other who will sacrifice themselves. Why does everyone want to die right now? You know what? You are the furry, though. So, imagine the true lung is also a furry, though. If they're both furries, I recommend both of them. Look, man! It's just a very Chinese time. I think you just gotta accept it. We are in a very Chinese era. There are no victims in this case. Your work ends here, Superintendent Chen. Don't tell me you forgot. I resigned right in front of you 5 years ago. Though the man standing before me now isn't even fit to be called Chief Wei. You're telling me to watch you throw your life away. That's not even part of the words that's pissing me off the most. Your sacrifice isn't going to move anyone's heart but your own. Right now, you don't even have the right to end your life just like that. Uche, this is no petty squabble. This matter concerns the fate of Yan and its people. Of course I know that. But get over your own ego! The country's fate doesn't fall on your shoulders alone. There's definitely other things that you should be doing besides glorifying your own suicide. What's wrong with furries? They're just not my thing. I'm not gonna be like, oh, they should like end themselves. It's not like, I don't really care. Most furries are pretty nice, but at the same time, like, I want just the ears, nothing else. My character should have the tails and like the horns and the ears, and that's it. I don't want the Great Lung to appear as in my Rhodes Island or True Lung or whatever. And it's like, oh no, it's another furry. I know the risk with more furry NPCs. I know what happens. I mean, they're useful, but I'll never use them. Actually, I lied. Mountain I have used before, so I even lied about that. They're super useful. I hate to admit it. But like, imagine that being a waifu or husbando. Huntsman director? Oh, God, no! Don't! When was the last time there was a furry operator? What was the last furry operator? I think we got a was it a welfare? Give me a second. Who was the last? You might be right. Oh, the lizard! The lizard! It was the welfare! It was the lizard man in what's it called? Nasty's event. We got the iguana. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. So, it's a possibility. They don't come often. But when they do, they curse me. Anyway, let's continue. Get over your own ego. The country's fate doesn't fall on your shoulders alone. There are definitely other things you should be doing besides glorifying your own suicide. Very well. You don't have to come with me. Give me the writing knife and go back to Lungman. Strat! No! It's too bad. Got 2 blades here. But I can't lend you either of them. You don't have any more time to lose, and you still don't want it your way, Superintendent Chen. I'm not the one insisting on having it my way. Must you force my hand? Fine! Show me! Let me see how much of your swordplay has gotten better in the last 5 years. That's more like it. Jinhucha grips the hilt of her sword. Since she first took the Chi Xiao, she knew this moment would one day come. She unsheaths her blade and pointed at the Baijiao autumn breeze blowing between her and Wei Yanwu. A sword your shadows trace. Cast off as cast. Do we fight him here too? Did I not notice that? Okay, no, we do not fight him. Teeps, welcome in! Okay, we absolutely will be able to finish 9. We might be able to start 10. Big might. Oh god. Strat. don't put this on Chen. Because I'm trying to think. I think thankfully there's only going to be... Yeah, okay. This is one I will have to play and stream, quote-unquote play and stream. Okay. Yeah, we can do those last ones on Friday, I believe. Why do you intend to use Heaven's Eye? Scared? You're ahead of schedule. I know, I am! Isn't Chen always a dual wielder? Wasn't she not originally? Wasn't she as, her first iteration just one? And then she had, like, her gun for the summer? Skillful, but not yet the peak of perfection. The Grandmaster once said your swordplay. Your skill has improved much in 5 years. You surpassed my expectations comprehending Qi Shao's techniques. But you're still one step away from Heaven's eyes. The eye of heaven sees all and nothing. Only when the clouds are parted is Heaven's wrathful eye revealed. Let your heart guide the sword, never looking back. Turn around when the sword loses sharpness, harming the user. I was only reminded you of its form. But I see you remembered it all. She's a dual wielder? She might be. I don't remember. Chen, I have nothing for or against her. She's just there for most of it. You should be well aware that fog remains in your heart, so the technique is beyond your ability. Drop your sword, especially if you don't want to go that far with you. We'll use it, though, if I don't give you the writing knife. Just like you did 35 years ago. Don't force my hand, Hu Qie. When you walked out of the Forbidden City 40 years ago, when you decided whether Tal and her father would live and die, did you do it with the technique's ideals, never looking back? Hu Qie! If that's what Qi Shao's final technique commands, then I shall never be able to unleash it. Trial, justice. Good and evil, right and wrong? They aren't weights you can easily tell which is better placed on the sides of the scale. Don't judge a life until its end. It was never a positive term to use. The same goes for people, even more so. They shouldn't be used and then unceremoniously abandoned. The warriors in the Victorian Siege, warriors in the Ursa Tundra, and even the casino bosses in Docilis. All of them understand that. So you are right. I won't use Heaven's Eye. I can't learn it. It's not my blade work. What are you getting at? More than keeping a resolute will abandon everything. I'd rather pick a path and knowing what I find impossible. Hu Qie, you still don't understand. You're right. I don't actually understand what happened that night. Whether your father actually died by Qi Shao or something more sinister. I don't understand what you were thinking. I do know Edward and Tal both bore the curse of their bloodline, which I could only watch from the sidelines. I don't understand why Mother resented you, Father, and even me on her deathbed. I'm only clear on one thing, and Tal knows it too. Apologies from the dead are meaningless. If there are people you want to apologize to, then you should tell them you're sorry while you're still alive. Otherwise, you're just a coward consumed by guilt to the brim, putting on a heartless and stoic act for a ridiculous facade. I won't let you keep making the same mistake. There's no real merit in winning a verbal fight. If you truly have a strike that surpasses Heaven's Eye, you shall indeed become a legendary Yanni swordswoman. Show me. Prove with my blood that you were right. I'll show you. That is, I know Effie's probably furious, but man, that is a pretty artwork. They drew her very, very well. Oh, I love it. Chen suddenly switches Qixao to her left hand and wheels a writing knife to her right. I'm sorry, Effie! I'm so sorry! I'll prove that the dilemma itself is fundamentally wrong. You'll never get the right answer, no matter which side you take. I'll prove that before we reach the inevitable dead end, so we can take a step back and consider other options. A choice that requires no sacrifice or abandonment, but allows all things to thrive. Your plan to use Qixao's sword place with the writing knife. You said the techniques of Qixao were all about one state of mind. It really doesn't matter which sword you use, right? Uncle, I still remember your last words to me when I left Lungmin. Wei Yanwun's fingers stretch and bend before finally settling into a sharp form. Also, by the way, using a writing knife as an actual knife, could you imagine it just breaks? A gale swirls around him, blowing at his simple robes. Kochie, I'll respect your determination. I won't hold back. Heaven's eye, wrathful eye revealed, never looking back. Even without a physical blade, his fierce form remains like merciless sunlight, never to return once it has shone. Remorse does not linger on his fingers, nor does his sword's aura. Yet it pervades the air like mountains of withered leaves in late autumn. Hesitation, regret, self-blame. She knows why the old man before her wields his blade. His pent-up emotions do not have to be expressed in speech for her to empathize with. Then, like a sigh, she thrusts the writing knife out. After the truth comes to light, a judge's long exclamation often feels heavier than the verdict itself. After the sigh, the sharp wind rolling around him dissipates like a fading dream, leaving nothing but a solitary palace, a desolate square, and the two standing in silence before it. So this is a swordplay you meant. After I came to Baijiao, I heard some stories about my mother. When you left the city, she followed you to Lungmin. I never understood, but now, what other reason was there? She wanted to convince her brothers, her own two siblings, to make up. And now, I think she probably was even more naive than I am. You met someone from the House of Chen. Oh, your parents and them an apology. There are some things that should be resolved with blood, but this family matter should be entangled with your life, and my decades doesn't have to be one of them. You felt regret in the end. You dared only to hold the form of Heaven's eye, but not its spirit. You know what comes after remorse. Strat, you're gonna have Effie fight you if you say things like that. The Heaven's eye you wielded decades ago was before regret reached your heart. You saw all and nothing. You never looked back. And when you finally felt it, it gnawed at your heart nonstop. You win. Of course you're right. He did it without a blade. But this way, you stake everything on a war that cannot be controlled. Now countless Yeni soldiers and civilians have their lives on the line. Not just you and I. Those with power and privilege love hiding their selfishness with a big number and scary consequences. But obviously there's plenty of other choices besides your death. There are many who stand with us. Proxy joint force with Yen, your own brothers, and even if there really is no other choice to take up the responsibility, there's me. Let's finish the conversation from earlier. The path before you is long and hard, but I know you will master it. Thought for a long time what you meant was that will. When I found the answer, I was loath to believe the conclusion it led to. But now, seeing you in such a pathetic state, I can only believe it. From that moment on, when you were placing your unfulfilled hopes on my shoulders, you were already old. You're old. You can't even harden your heart into stone as you did in your prime. You want to make amends, to pay your debts, so you chose to die. Death won't let you make up for all you've done. Death won't preserve your last shred of dignity. Death won't leave a final knot in your relationship that can never be untangled. So don't do it. Don't do what Tal did. Is she... If you want to ask me, is she doing well? Then I'll tell you. No. Not at all. We should rejoice in the fact that I'm willing to talk about her with anybody. With you. Oh, what's that? The horn signaling the attack. It's not from Baizhao, but outside. From Yuman. Yuman's about to attack the Tomb of Sui? The Grand Commander has issued the command, but whether or not the troops move up to Zhuozhuan and Liao. Cannot hold on forever, though. Yuman's troops are not his personal army. I should go. To do what? Our family matter have to be resolved. But those incantations of the Fairmont, the same goes for them. They'll try their best, and I'm willing to trust them. Like Grand Commandment. I can guess what's on his mind. He's not selfish, but he thinks his judgments are logical and realistic. Disasters caused by people like him are usually the far worse. Be it for Lungman or what's left of the House of Chen, I should try and win what peace is possible for Yin. I know you will. Right. Before I go, if you want, help me think of a name for the move I pulled off. A name like Heaven's Eye that would get a young me all excited. Heaven's Plaint. Heaven's Plaint. Doesn't that sound a little old-timey? Surely you don't have to remind me my age every 5 minutes. Even so, there's some things I must do myself. Such as... This time, I will do something that won't leave me with regrets. You may have downloaded too many? Oh no. Dummy text? Did they forget? They didn't forget to replace the text? Huh? Oh my god. Okay. Okay. It's been a minute. We need 5,000 pulls for this mistake. The mastermind who turned Yuman upside down and an actual Fairmont. Yeah, they completely forgot to replace that one. I'm guessing they meant yeah. You know, it's a good thing that EN is illiterate, because that, like, I'm probably one of 4 people who has seen that. Oh, it's so dumb! Zholi grips his blade and swallows hard. But the other party does not seem to pay him any mind. Instead, look towards Mo Yi. Yeah, exactly! And where's the thing you promised me? I didn't find it. Then there's no meaning in leaving you alive. With no hesitation, a long, narrow blade manifests into Ya's hand, dazzling the other 2 with its silver glint. Wait. Kill me, and you'll never know where Bufan is. What? Moyi, what exactly? Faced with Julie's anxious stare, Moyi can only turn her head away. Let me ask you first. What do you plan to do with Bufan once you have it? Just kill Sui? Or do you want the whole city? Or even all of Yan to die alongside your grudge? That is of no concern to you. Nathan, welcome in! I'm so sorry you had a power outage. I only promised to help you to exact revenge against the bestial Sui. But before I give it to you, I need you to promise me something. Your rage can only be directed at Sui. And once you're done with your vengeance, you'll leave Yen. Absurd. Why should I promise you anything? No particular reason, but I'm not giving it to you unless you agree. You've exhausted my patience with your life. Jolie steps in almost instinctively and takes the blow. He realizes once more just how much power a pheromone holds. All he feels is that churning as blood sprouts from his mouth. Jolie. This regular will not allow you to harm anyone, even if she is a Xiaoyang. Ridiculous. It's a very human game that I hate. A light flicker of her longsword, and the Calinor's old blade flies from his hand, and his throat meets the edge of her blade. The whereabouts of Bufan, or his life. No way, you can't! Don't hurt him, I'll tell you! He's not going after Bunny anymore. He got Crane Wife now. The Xiaoyang takes out an elaborate box from her pocket and opens to reveal an ancient map within. That's from the Skymere Pavilion. When did you... Sorry. Lord Zoa, I admit to the crime of deceiving you over and over again. Dare I ask you to trust me, and if a chance comes, to let me be the good one and make amends. You mustn't! Ignoring the candle holder's futile attempt, Moyi hands the map over to Ya, and the latter merely sweeps a glance at it before the parchment turns into ashes. Enough. I did what you wanted. You should leave. You tricked me once, and still have hope for me to trust you? She'll come with me until I find Bufan. Ya raised her longsword, but does not point at the two, instead slicing a rift into the air. Yeah, he went with another girl. The doctor didn't approve fast enough. Don't just stand there, run! Moyi is swallowed by the rift, leaving only withered autumn leaves all around Zuale. What did you do? Stop! Where are you going? I think it beneath me to make another move on someone I have no business with. If you cherish your life, then leave. Jolie suddenly picks up his blade from the floor and steps forward into the fighting stance. Countless times has he done this, against formidable foes he thought he could never defeat. So you have a death wish. As if merely following the proxy's murderous intent, a chilly non-audible breeze blows by, and sharp withered leaves cut tiny wounds on Jolie. But right after, he sees something he can hardly believe. The dead leaves turn into flowers and green, and the piercing autumn wind is gradually replaced by a gentle spring breeze. Who dares? Yo! They're no longer in the dream? His fit does go hard. Why do we always run each other when a fight's about to start? This encounter's no different than the one 1,000 years ago. Our former foes are gone, as are our dear friends. To draw your blade for vengeance now, how is it not a futile gasp of the past? You too. Also, yes, they're more pheromone. The fact that, like, basic elder who actually has drip is a pheromone is also hilarious to me. The proxy is loath to address her kin by names the human give them, yet she realizes how else are they to address one another. You had to test these names. How? Ju. So you were both alive all along. Gramp just mogs, okay? I think Ya is closer to... Maybe it's ya boy. I think they're supposed to be more like gender neutral, but I might be wrong there. As you can see, we are no illusions or walking corpses, so yes. This is no place for chit-chat. Can your hidden realm welcome us as guests? Dude, this is so pretty. I thought it, and I were the last of our kind on this land. How have you survived these last 1,000 years? And why have you come here today? Do you want to stop me as well? Also, you are far from the last pheromone. Like, definitely lasts from, like, there's more Faramut. We don't intend to make things difficult for you. But are you aware just how much trouble you've added to our plates with your awakening and return to Yun? Since that day, I've been able to follow it by 100 of eyes, even when I'm just casually angling for some silverfish in the Dusk River. Staring at your decrepit shell. Huh, those ants sure are experts at wasting time. Ruined mountains and streams, bodies weak and sick. That's all we are now, and you are no exception. Weak and sick? Get enough strength to leave another wound on it that I'll never heal. Is that the only thing you've gained from your long journey? After this millennium-long journey, all that remains is your head wanting to settle the score between you two. Seriously, your smarts are not up to par. Anger, humiliation, discontent, confusion. You came back on account of these. And you used them as an excuse to level your blade against your own kind. Human gave a name to this obsession born of anger. They call it vengeance. You proudly claim it to be a Faramut and look upon human emotions with contempt. Yet you've changed. Why did you become so obsessed with the boards and the games humans play? Yes! Say welcome in also! Yeah, and Hole being playable would be really cool. Imagine we could build our own Faramut team. Because we also have, oh my god, what's her name? Kagira, whatever her name is? Kaya? Something like that. We have her as well. But they're not Faramuts, they're proxies. So I wouldn't call that a Faramut team. Because technically they're not Faramut. Faramut Knights, exactly! And when did your primordial beings pick up the rhetoric used by these crass pats? So, the Sui siblings are Faramut proxies. The actual Faramut for them is the Sui. Fooling humans, hunting our own kind. When have we ever suffered such humiliation? When have we suffered such betrayal? Vengeance, boards, games? This is a war between it and me has yet to end. Take a nap. Oh, can you not again? Lands shorn of life, mountains split in sunder, rivers choked with crimson. The war at the dawn of time is not worth my remembrance. Eons ago, before you granted these instincts your cunning, they had long embarked on the wrong path. Now I look at you, taking on a form similar to theirs, comical, ugly, broken, unbearable. You make me laugh. And you, Ho, the ancient bestial Ho, the nature of antiquity. You who once floated between heaven and earth, have too learned how to live like an ant. So wait. He just stands for antiquity? Ho is old man true. He even stands for old man. It's 50-50. Oh, I hope you're able to nap, Aethel. One can live as they wish in this realm. Rafting, swimming, fowl watching, fin catching. You're not me, so how could you how could you understand the joy I derive from this land? You find joy in dragging your tail through the mud? Seasons change, life and death come and go. Joy is but a speck, and sorrow the same. To me, these joys and sorrows are but flitting weeds on the Dusk River. Where the wind blows, I go. If one day a fin beast devours me whole, I shall drift freely for 10,000 miles with the current. If a foul beast snatches me, I shall be lifted up into the highest heavens. Will you raise your weapon against the wind? A fin, a foul beast. Sleep well, Aethel! To be used or cast aside is of the times. To act or to hide is of my own will. That is what you and I have come to tell you. Old man is like, okay, but like you could just retire. You're still wangless? I'm sorry, Say. I believe you'll get him. Is this guy just Dragon Man Jesus? No? I think he's supposed to represent, I actually don't know what he's supposed to represent. He has that horn. Maybe he is dragon. But, like, he's just old man. He's Chinese Jesus! I believe in you. I believe in you, say. Continue your reckless act, and you shall only meet your end. A fair man's end. With your shell no more, as only ash and dust. Simply put, we pity you, our kin. Pity? For your kin? The two of you will leave me with shame. Kin, you say? The two of you, as primordial manifestation of nature and rules, are groveling at my feet to surrender the ages? Puny, weak, filthy, low. What grants you two rotting corpses the right to call yourself my kin? I'll lose my body, and end as an ash and dust. The destruction in your eyes to me is simply a return. A return. To the sleepless chaos, the indistinguishable dawn. So what if I'm reduced to nothing? So what if I'm consigned to eternal nothingness? The realm is but a coffin with no borders in sight. 1,000 years I've waited, and the only thing missing is the dark red pattern. Soaked, painted, lined, and carved. A breathtaking pattern made from its flesh and cries. You take this realm as a coffin. Is it then not a waste, preserving this vast realm when only death awaits you? I dwell within a leaf, but see an entire realm within. All things arise from the mind, and should stay free and unfettered. Is it the realm that confines you? The land trembles from its master's rage. The chill of the cold jade mountains grows even sharper with her raging fury. But the old man merely taps his long staff on the water's surface, and a plum blossom blooms in the river that has never melted. So you wish to face me in your own realm? Arrows knocked. Yes, use your arrow. Your staff, your pest-like form to smash all that you see as coffins. And come with me into your sky disciple's steed, and take a good look for yourselves. Witness how this 1,000-years-old feud will finally end. Yas figure vanishes into thin air, leaving only Ju and Ho on frozen river. Ju? I see stopping the war is no longer possible. Are we really going to destroy this realm she has preserved for so many years? Pity for your kin to strike a nerve with Ya. But isn't that what we've been trying to make her see the error of her ways? How can we drive the knife even deeper when she's already wallowing in self-abandonment? So from now on, we must only watch from the sides as Wang's plot unfolds. We guided the last once. We saved that candle holder and even stood in for that precious disciple of yours. We've done our part, Wang. He probably knows we can't stop Ya, which is why he let us involve ourselves in this troublesome affair in the first place. He really is like it. Only he has a bit more. What done is done. Let's get to the rest of this river and partake in the scenery from a millennia ago. Time's running out for it as well. Hiya. Wait, I'm back. And you're alive too. Where's Ya? I saw an old man and a person covered in machinery. They stopped Ya. Then they all vanished. Someone covered in metal. Don't tell me. Damn it, I was so close. Why am I the only one that hasn't seen him? Forget it. Since he's already here, I'm sure I'll get another chance to meet him when this is all done with. Thanks for saving me earlier. Saving you? Without my convincing performance, she would have thought my actual intent was fake, right? Wouldn't that be a real shame? What? What are you planning? Divulging the location of Bufan to the proxy? You keep asking me the mission of the Ultian she gave me, right? Man, he wouldn't believe me anyway. Maybe when you become that sweet regular supervisor, whatchamacallit. What was that? From far away, a bugle horn sounds, sending Mo Yin to frankly search for its source. But Jolie, it could not be more familiar. That's Yumin calls to march. Yumin is preparing for an assault of the Tumasui. So soon? The Bishosui hasn't woken up, right? The Bishosui is yet to wake. The city's in chaos, and the Sui regular still hasn't fulfilled its duties. How could they possibly issue the order to attack the tomb right now? Something must have happened inside Yumin. I should... Well then, get going! But we have to get that token to the Tumasui. After a moment's silence, Zuli speaks with hesitation. Can I trust you? Just shut up and leave it to me. Since you saved my life earlier. Moyi, you're such a soon! Oh my god! Well, I guess, because you saved my life earlier. Stay safe. The day of the full moon. Oof! Baijiao's outskirts, near the Tumasui. An old man stands alone amidst the dry grass and withered poplars, silently staring at where the barren ends, in the direction of Baijiao's urban core. Pat, 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 pat! It's the homie! He's back! God, it's so cold this autumn. What are you doing out here all alone on a day this cold? Waiting for someone. Oh, have you eaten? Here, I have a bag of buns with me. Fill your belly a little? We can eat once everyone's here. Yes, it is! He's here! I'm glad you get to enjoy him, Nathan. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I don't think Ami and Jolie are happening anytime soon. If we're gonna wait for more, then I better prepare a proper meal. Buns won't do. Did you think they'll come back? What do you think? Of course I think they will. I know we rarely come together. We always argue when we do meet. We don't share the same hobbies and have conflicting personalities. But it's times like these that I believe our hearts are all as one. Though, even if everyone comes back, can we even... I'll wait with you then. Okay, so we are definitely ending here for tonight. I'm debating whether it's gonna be tomorrow or Friday. It's probably gonna be Friday. I do like taking Thursdays off, and like I do need to rest my voice a little bit. So here is the plan. His tail is so good, man. These last three we'll probably do on Friday. I'm sorry, Punchy. Welcome in. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ethel. But these three we will probably do on Friday. And then on Saturday is when my medical week starts, so we will be gone for a week. And then we'll come back. We will be doing Ambience Anesthesia soon. If not the first time I get back, because I don't know if I want to do it like the first stream I get back, but like if not the second or third. So we'll have that soon. But yeah, we're reaching the end. And I'm very excited to see where this goes. I do have a request for any of you that will be here for next stream. Remind me after I do TA11 before that I have to actually do this one. Because this has story in it. That's something that I am asking of you guys. I'll probably pin it the day of. But I would like that reminder because if it slips my mind, it slipped my mind for last event. And I want to make sure I don't forget. But anyway, we will be ending here. My throat is starting to kill me. Definitely gonna rest a bit. We're gonna finish on time, which I'm really happy. Don't worry, it is okay if you don't remember. It is technically my responsibility, but if anyone can help remind me, I appreciate it. But as always, guys, don't forget to work out. Have a good sleep. Have a great morning. And hopefully I see you guys on Friday. Those of you who don't feel well, please feel better. And yeah, good night, everyone. wait, I'm not gonna do the... You know what? Screw it. Wait. Good night, everyone. day, Junk. I'm sorry I missed you.